Local boys. Feeling alright, yeah. Local boys. Local boys.
Basically, before any big venue at my bar, I asked my good brother Dyson over here to touch up my hair. And I'm very superstitious of things. As you can see, the sock, face, the mouth. Well, you don't need to hear the mouth yet. But basically, he touches up my hair. He does all, it's called hair tattooing. And he gets crazy with it. A lot of people in the mainland, they do it, but they do stencils. This brother is talented. He does freehand. All he sees is a picture, and he blasts it out. How you been, man?
Been good, bro. How you been?
Good, good. Busy, man. Busy. Yes, good things, only good things.
Yeah, so thank you for setting me up with this little moment of exposure on this Local Boys Inc.
Roger.
I'm Dyson, by the way. Nice to meet you guys. Hope you guys like the show and get to see the art that comes out of me, you know. Definitely leave it all to God and thank Him for everything, you know. I'm from Honolulu originally, born in the Big Island. Graduated from Waianae, 04. Lived a rough life, you know. Us local boys over here, we definitely get it rough, you know, and straight out of high school, 18 years old, went to prison for a little while. I like to look at it as the butterfly effect. You know, I used to be a caterpillar walking the way that I didn't know, lacked all the influences in my life, you know, until God put me in that cocoon, which was called Halava Hilton for me in Honolulu for almost 4 years. So I spent, you know, years that I should have been in college learning about myself, who I was, and gained some type of career. And that's where God blessed me with the gift of talent, you know, art. You know, I always thought this was the kind of fighting I had to do, but little did I know that these hands that He blessed me with artistic hands. And in prison I learned how to draw, learned how to do tattooing, which I wasn't supposed to do, but I ended up doing a lot of tattooing in there, a lot of drawing for a lot of people. And cutting hair is just something that all the boys used to do, you know, after we used to train in Waianae, you know, after we done at the gym, we used to cut each other's hair. And when I went in there, I started cutting hair. And I didn't know that when I got out of prison that cutting hair would have been a lifestyle for me. And from that day on, I just took things to another level. And like I said, I thank God and I give it all to Him, because definitely brought me out of the dark and put me in the light. You know, I came from a prideful town, always wanting to be the best, you know, by humility and fear of the Lord. You know, I learned a lot of things. Definitely learned who I am and what I was, and I'm thankful to be who I am today at this very moment. And by wanting to be the best and always having this pride, I just like to take things to another level. So if I see something, you know, I'm an Aries, so I know that I always want to be the best. So in anything that I do, I want to try and take it to the next level. So when I started cutting hair and it became a career, and I knew I was good at art, you know, tattooing and stuff that I was gifted at doing, I seen these hair designs and I was like, oh, you know, I can do that, you know. So I started looking at these magazines, looking on YouTube, and I was like, oh, you know, I bet these guys don't even know how to draw or even know how to do a tattoo. So I figured, you know, let me try one day. And then first design that I did, it actually came out good. And I'm not saying I'm the best at it or anything, but it came out in my own style, in my own art. You know, art is a difference of many different styles, people's different imaginations, you know, bringing it from the within, you know, and bringing it out into the earth and giving it exposure. So I just let it flow. Ask people what they want, you know, if they want something, and I'll definitely look at it and just take my time. Patience is definitely a virtue, and wanting to treat others as yourself. So if I'm gonna do a design on someone, I don't want to give them an ugly design, so I want to make sure I give them something I would want in my head. I like to say Maui no Ka'oi for sure. You know, I came here strictly to cut hair and pursue my fighting career. You know, I've been fighting since I was a little kid. It's all I ever knew how to do growing up in Waianae was fight. But like I said, God blessed me with these gifted hands that I thought was only made for fighting, but now they're definitely made for styling. And then I came down here, you know, I met a lot of local boys that train MMA and fight, and that's what, you know, they all gave me a lot of aloha, you know, and meeting all these people cutting hair like Sai definitely gave me a lot of aloha. You know, it's the first time I ever came to a island and didn't have to worry about getting into a street fight. You know, street fighting back home is just a lifestyle. But here, the lifestyle, like I said, is no ko'oi, and when no ko'oi means the best. And when I say the best, you know, doesn't have to mean the best in particular things, you know, as in materialistic things. But to me, when I say no ko'oi to me means, you know, the best type of aloha, you know, the best type of love, good brothers, you know, people who treat you with respect, you know, and definitely just help you out, you know. And so what I like about this island is it's so easy for me to fit in and be able to make a lot of friends. And you know, life is too short to be making enemies. It's all about networking, you know. And Sai's another brother who knows a lot of people out there. You know, we ain't got time to be making enemies and stuff like that. We're just another local boy here on these islands trying to make it to the top.
Who you gonna tell your troubles to when everybody lets you down? A true friend is a rock. A true friend is solid ground.
Stubborn like a pit bull.
Stubborn like a pit bull.
Soft as a teddy bear.
Soft like a teddy bear. Island born, island raised. True to the bone, yeah.
Local boys.
Hey, bro.
Hey, how's it?
Hey, my name's Bolo.
Jerry.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Welcome to Valley Motors.
Thanks, bro.
What is it you're kind of interested in? What are you looking for?
Well, I'll tell you, man, I got divorced recently, and I'm looking for something kind of simple, I guess, economical, something practical, just to sort of get me through this process I'm kind of going through, you know what I mean? I don't know, I'm just sort of in the market, and I guess in many ways now. And just looking for something simple, I guess.
Okay, okay. Well, you know what? Jerry, right?
Yeah.
Jerry, I got the perfect car for you.
Okay.
And it's right here.
Right on.
To the left. This is the perfect car.
Oh, well, I mean, that is a beautiful car. There's no doubt. I mean, I would look good in that car.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a little more than I was thinking of in terms of a ride, but I mean, it's beautiful.
Well, this is what I was thinking.
I love the dash. It's all
it's wood
inlaid there. The clock, it's a classic clock.
Classic.
Digital stuff there, but a real clock with real hands.
Real hands, yeah. Okay.
Of course, automatic temperature control.
Automatic. So you control your side, I control my side.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Separate,
I like
huh?
mine a little bit cooler. Don't you feel like you're riding around in your living room? It's only a comfortable chair.
You know what? It really is like a
Right?
recliner. Just
yeah.
driving like a boat floating on the water.
Floating?
You know, my ship. I could be captaining my ship.
Oh,
I like the seats, how they all.
yeah. That
like you
controls
can-
your seat, and I control mine.
All right.
Yeah, your own temperature control.
You got a
even
big
gears
back
in there.
seat for the ladies.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? A lot of activity can go on in the back seat then. Think of it this way, you know, you don't want your wife to get all the money, right?
You know what? This would probably suck up a lot of it, bro.
There you go.
And you're right. I could keep this as an investment. I like your thinking, Bo. Yeah.
Wise men think alike.
And you know what? I should have something like this. I have a great job. I work for a company called Maui Babe.
Oh, Maui Babe? Oh,
Yeah, you know Maui Babe.
Yeah, I know Maui. I've had some working with them.
uh,
I worked for ABC Stores, and that was a big contract for us.
Well, we're the third best-selling SKU in ABC's.
That's right.
You got alcohol, cigarettes at Maui Babe.
Maui Babe. Yeah.
And this car is the perfect Babe magnet.
Boy, oh, I loved it.
Yeah, Ford has made a lot of changes. It really seems like a good car. In fact, actually, when I was in Europe, I was performing with my ex-wife, and we drove a Ford Focus all over Ireland and Scotland, and
how was
I couldn't
that?
believe, wow, that car
Unbelievable,
rocked.
huh?
It was a great car, and well, we drove all over the place. We were entertainers too, so like singing and castles
and you drove around
that kind of
Focus.
stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it was good fun.
And you know what, Jerry? My boss just called me. He said, "You're pre-approved. Check the
Really?
credit, everything, good to go." So all you gotta say is yes and sign that dotted line, and it's yours.
Bolo, it's a guaranteed yes.
That's what
I have found what I'm looking for, man.
Perfect. And you didn't even know you wanted a town car, huh?
You know what? I was thinking economy and keeping it simple, but you have opened my eyes to the possibilities, my friend, that lay in store. You know what brought this car is inspiring. Oh, what a beautiful morning! Oh, what a beautiful day!
Wow,
Yeah,
Jerry,
good
you're
acoustics.
the first customer I ever sang on a demo.
So yeah, I got pulled over. I got a DUI, and you know what? It's a big trip. You don't even think about how important that little piece of plastic is in your wallet. I mean, you can't do anything. You can't go renting cars. You're not supposed to be driving. You're not supposed to be driving, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You know.
You gotta work.
You gotta go to work. You gotta take your kids, whatever it is, and you know, for a little time of enjoyment. And actually, I was celebrating getting a new job that day.
Oh.
Celebrating my new job as an insurance agent.
Oh my!
And I get busted. You know,
How that works.
having fun and stuff, celebrating, but the consequences when you're on the road is everything that you have to go through.
It's a big process, I heard.
Oh, it's expensive. If you think about it, the amount of money came out of my pocket for my attorney, all the fines, okay, the 2 days of driver's education.
Oh, goodness.
Oh wait, that's not it. Okay, I'll be way under the speed limit.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it was a trip, and it was like, they say it's for 6 weeks.
What?
But it's actually, yeah, it's like low intensity treatment is twice a week. High intensity is 3 times a week. Wow.
Oh, one class.
Yeah. Just put me on high intensity. But I learned a little bit out of it, and as you know, I'm at home all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put myself in that situation. It's like for having having fun and celebrating. I can celebrate at home.
Absolutely.
No, you gotta do the whole written permit.
All over again.
And the driving.
The driving, like you in high school.
Oh man.
Wow.
I got my license when I was 15 years old, and I gotta do this now.
I want to pass.
No.
See?
You know why? Right, you know why? In Kahului, the driving test goes by Fulan and Kaumanu.
Yeah.
Do you drive 20 miles an hour on that street?
Never.
Can you?
Never.
Never.
Hey, bicycles passing me. And I'm like, okay. It's like, I'm like, drive my other car, you know, with the tints, and it's embarrassing. I was going 21 miles an hour.
And
yeah, and
They
because
fucked you,
I didn't turn in to check,
right,
because now get the
Yeah,
bike.
yeah, get the bike. Right.
Right.
And you know what? DMV, with the people that do the tests,
Right.
it's a chip on the shoulder, because I don't know, maybe something else is they're not happy with their life, but they gotta make you miserable.
Yeah.
They treat you like a little.
It seems like they get paid for not passing you.
Guess we
That's
get
how
paid
we
again.
feel. Yeah, you're paying.
Oh, you talking about money again?
You know,
No.
back in the day, a couple of my dad's friends working over there at the DMV. So what is his name?
Big Afro
hair guy or whatever, and had a lot of Filipino guy. And
He's still there.
Yeah, and every time they call us, if we go take the test, because we passed permit, so we go take the test. We walk inside and we were looking for the guys, because my father's friend. We look at that. They go, "Oh, can we help you?" No. I'm still looking for my dad's friend. You know what I mean? And if he's not there, I just gonna make an appointment.
Yeah.
We do. The bushy hair guy. He's not working today.
Oh,
I didn't get his name.
Filipino?
But he was just
S.
Sajalan.
No. Nice try. And they're like, oh, excuse me. And you know, when you're taking the test, and they grab the clipboard, it's like, you trying to concentrate on the road, the speed limit, and
Yeah.
And
you see doing.
and
you hear him too.
And next thing they go like this and they go,
you know, whatever, I'm going to country, bro.
that's not where I live.
I'm going to country, I don't need this.
Right.
I'm country boy. I'm
But
country,
whatever the case may be, I'm glad that all that DUI stuff is over.
Thank
And
God.
Yeah, because
That was his prayer.
that's a big deal.
Come, they told me, ba-rum-ba-bum-bum. A newborn king to see, ba-rum-ba-bum-bum. Our finest gifts we bring, ba-rum-ba-bum-bum. To lay before.
So, Cliff, what exactly do you do at the Ritz? Your job?
I serve as the cultural advisor, and my capacity is to ensure that our guests and our employees walk away with a completely different view of Hawaii than what they generically thought.
Okay.
We start with our employees and try to instill into them a sense of place, because as we know in the hospitality industry, it's a transient industry as far as employees are concerned. So they may come from Vancouver, from New York, from Dakota, whatever, and they have nothing, no knowledge at all about us.
Right.
So my job is to instill that pride inside of them and say, listen, you've chosen to work here, to live here, therefore you have kuleana. You have responsibility
yes.
to understand
And
who we,
culture.
exactly, who we were, are, and want to be. So after these classes, then now they have the ability to go out into the field. And when I say field, I mean at the pool, in the lobby, in the restaurants, and answer some questions intelligently rather than guessing. Because the more you guess, eventually people going to start believing these answers, and then the sense of place is lost forever.
Absolutely.
So we start with the employees. After that, it's to the guests, and we have cultural experiences for them that they can see a deeper experience, and they can ask deeper questions about Hawaii, rather than who has the best Mai Tai, and where can you find the best lobster tail, etc., etc., etc. So it
Kayak
can,
race,
yes,
kayaks.
it can deal from Ihiuvai at 5 a.m. in the morning to even the spreading of ashes, in the evening. And what it does is it ties them to this place. It also gives the opportunity for the Hawaiian to have contributing eyes from the outside looking in. Because when I challenge them, I say to them, when you go home to your counties and you pick up a paper and you read about us, understand who we are, And if you have an answer that maybe your First Nations people are doing, or there's a legislation for health reform, or for senior citizens, or children,
Maybe you
write
can
me,
share
tell
as well.
me. Because now I can take it to our leaders and say, hey man, take a look at this. This is why we're for Hawaiians. So now we have partners in the future of Hawaii.
Absolutely.
I think it's a good working situation.
Well, like you said, knowledge is the key.
Correct.
You know what I mean? In whatever facet, you know, because I've heard this adage before. No one can really understand if they're not taught.
Correct.
You know what I mean? They can. You can, like how you said, Vancouver or you know, wherever you can be from. But if you're not taught or even a workshop, what have you, if you're not learned, then you cannot really understand.
Correct. And
So
and then another aspect is you cannot teach
Right.
unless you were taught.
Unless you were taught. Absolutely.
So if I go back to my small kid days in Waihe Valley, in the taro patch with my grandpa, and a little you get in the back of the head, sometimes you ask too many questions.
Right.
You know, you learn here and there,
absolutely.
and I guess the first thing you learn is respect for your elders, the value of hard work, etc. But you know, when we all young kids, we're all invincible, right?
Exactly.
Stubborn.
Yes.
We don't want to listen until sometimes you gotta hit the bottom, then you realize, oh, now I remember what Tutu was telling me.
Yes.
Now I know the value of what this is, you know, and you go from there. So for myself, you know, growing up on Maui, having the opportunity to work in the taro patches, and then declining to work in the taro patches, losing my ancestral lands because I chose to go elsewhere. You know, I left the islands and went to California.
Well, and that's to
just seek fame and fortune. Just, you know, go have some fun.
Right. Yeah.
When I got none of the above, I came back, and you know, all I saw was the rusty sickles and the what do you call, rubber boots full with cobwebs, and the land now is all gone. And so I learned a lesson at that time. You know, it's like, wow, okay, we got to hang on to what we got. You know, I grew up in that sense, and I blew it off because I thought everything was secure. It's always going to be there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, change does come. And as that saying goes, you can only predict the future if you create it, right? So now I'm trying to create the future and predict it well for our peoples, and try to get allies, because, you know, local boys, we can do what we did, but we still got to do what we got to do, which is, you know, it's been with the times, but never ever forget where we came from. It's like hula, your basic steps. You know, you can change something here, but your basic steps will always be the same.
Absolutely. So as we're talking about, you know, culture, and we're talking about genealogy, and you know, I was sharing a little bit with my brother about the genealogy and stuff, and I think, you know, by far genealogy, culture, you know, we all have something, you know, whether it be we Portuguese, Japanese, you know, or Filipino. We all have some type of culture or genealogy. You know what I mean? And like you said, it's up to us to open that up.
Correct.
Go look, show the speed, and then see what happens and comes out. And maybe you can touch a little bit on that, or in a sense of other ethnicities.
Sure. The common ground is the fact that we are. No matter where you're from, we still are. And somebody came behind you. Whether you be Japanese, Okinawan, Filipino, Hispanic, whatever the case may be, you are today. Our skin is just an encasement of 1,000 years of energies from behind. So try to understand that no matter where you're from, and then use that to your advantage, and go out and do something about it, you know. You choose to live in Hawaii, as I said, I don't care where you're from, I don't care what color you are, know who you are, but again, know who the host is. You know, there's host and hosted. And if you choose to live here, you become part of the host. Whether you speak Filipino or Hispanic or Japanese, you're still part of our host culture here now. We're one big poi bowl, just all mixed up.
You know what I mean? And maybe you can touch a little bit on a genealogy process.
Genealogy is so important to the Hawaiian person because we need to know who we were. For myself, I'm fortunate that my genealogy I can track back to Naiole the chief, who cared for Kamehameha the infant, and that's nice. For other Hawaiians who have to start that journey, let it start somewhere. You know, start somewhere. And I always say to the kids, you know, don't waste your DNA. The Hawaiians are here because some Polynesian decided to cross the ocean 1,000 years ago, and they made it. They lived through that voyage, but they were selected because they were the best of the best. Only had so many seats on that canoe, so you had to be the best. So here comes these Polynesians. They arrive here, they populate, they have the next generations, and we are the next generations. So these kids, I say to them, don't waste your DNA. You are the best of the best. Go find out a little bit, even if it's just to your great-grandfather, but it's a start. It began with, you know, being married and my child was to be born, and it says, you know what, I want my child to be born on this Aina. So we came home, and I still really had no knowledge of my culture until my son went to Punanaleo of Maui, a white immersion school. And then all of a sudden, you know, it's cool, it's cute, it's nice. Until they come home and they start speaking to you and saying, help me with my homework, Dad. And you look at it, it's all in Hawaiian, and you go, oh, now I'm in trouble. So I says, okay, what do we do? So we started with a simple hula class for the fathers. And from hula came language, from language came chant, from chant came spirituality, from spirituality, boom, the door just busted open. And it has been, you know, a nice ride ever since. And you know, so much more to learn, of course. But it all started from one son going to immersion school, and then remembering what my grandfather taught me, and then saying, okay, I suffered one great loss. Let's make this a gain now.
And such a great thing where, as a Hawaiian, you do not repeat a circumstance. You know what I mean? And it's great because a lot of us repeat circumstances. Continue to whether not learn or is comfortable, or point fingers outside instead of within.
Blame.
Correct.
You know,
as the old navigator said, we know where we're going because we know where we went.
Exactly.
O whao kapu o nai ole, nai ole ka waka hiko, ke ali inai ole, nai ole ke kahuali a ke kama I hanau I ka po, o tā meha meha koni noa, o pai ea ke kama po olua e. Ua hele mako me ka maluhia, me ka haa a ke aloha maina ho uli na a ka ohana e ola ke ali I ka meha meha, e ola ke ali hinai ole, e ola lua e a mama ua noa lele vale
ola ie o kamaha
Feeling alright, yeah.